Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I wanted to come on here and kind of discuss something that I have always really struggled with, and kind of something that I think a lot of us struggle with, and I'm probably going to get the most real and the most vulnerable on this video, so I hope you guys are ready for that. But basically I'm going to be talking about self-image and weight and how you perceive your body and how you let others perceive yourself. So I kind of wanted to do a little bit of a history of my weight. So growing up, I was always a very sick child. I actually had 9 bladder infections and 7 kidney infections by the time I was age 8. I don't know really what caused them, but I always kind of spent a lot of time in and out of the hospital, which made me a very skinny child because I was constantly always sick. And then when I was 8, I actually almost had my appendix burst, and they took it out immediately, so it didn't happen. Thank Jesus for that. And then after that, I was never like sick again. I never had any of these bladder or kidney infections, even in my adult life, which they said that might have happened, would have increased more as I became, you know, a woman and things like that. But I haven't had any issues with that, so I'm really happy about that. But that was around 4th, 5th grade. And because I was always so sick, I never really had a lot of like appetite, things like that. And then after that, I kind of just, you know, grew into the chubby kid, little 5th grader. And I look back, I don't even know if I have pictures because I think I hid them all. Science camp, I was a huge child. And then going into middle school, like that was a very huge transitional year. And you know, middle school is kind of where you start noticing other opposite sex, and you start to have the crushes more, and becomes like more of the boyfriend girlfriend thing. So you know, I had the hugest crush on this guy, and you know, I was not cute in 6th grade. I was very chubby. I had really weird hairstyle and style. I wore like these really small glasses, and like I have a very full face, so they made my face look even fuller. And it was very interesting, kind of growing up in this era, I guess. I don't really know if that means. It was very interesting. It was very interesting to see the dynamic that I had with my classmates. And I remember this one student, still remember to this day, he basically called me like a fat lard, and it really stuck with me. And I always heard, you know, how could someone like you when you look like that? And it really took that to heart. So summer of 6th and 7th grade, my cousin and I went on an extreme workout regimen and diet plan, which my aunt thankfully had us all stacked up on that. But we would wake up, we would run up the hill because my cousin used to live at a ranch. We would go work out at the rec center. We'd play basketball with my uncle. We'd do water aerobics at the night time. Like we did so much things. Like I honestly spent my entire summer just eating healthy, like lentils, and working out. And I lost a significant amount of weight. It was insane, like how much I have lost just in that summer. So going back to 7th grade, like everyone was like, wow, like she's really changed. And for me, it still wasn't enough. And I still felt like I wasn't good enough to be seen and to be, I don't know, it was just hard dealing with when people say something to you and it really sticks. And I 100% like agree with this. Words stick longer with you than actual scars. I mean, scars you can definitely use some ointment to get off, but when someone tells you something so mean and hurtful, you really hold on to that. So I think that's kind of where I developed this unhealthy, I guess, image of myself that I was never going to be good enough. And so still, I kept on that regiment, and I really tried not to eat terrible food. And like, I was 13 years old. If I could go back to my 13-year-old self and say, look, eat those hot Cheetos, you deserve it, I would totally would. So 8th grade, it was the smallest that I have ever been. Like, I was literally this big, and I just looked so unhealthy. Like, I have a very large head, so I had this large head on this small little body, and it just looked so weird and so awkward. But I felt so, I guess, unnoticed. I think that's kind of where I felt like, wow, okay, you know, people actually notice me now and things like that. And I feel like this unhealthy image that we have with noticing people is just, to me, it's so toxic, and we'll get more into that as I go on. So went into freshman year, so small as ever could be, and I had really bad hormonal acne. So whenever I got my period, I would just break out, and not to, like, you know, one little problem spot. It was like full-on problem spots. So I kind of discussed it with my doctor, my dermatologist, and with my mom, and we decided that I would go on birth control to help me regulate that. Well, as you all know, birth control has a bunch of side effects, and one of them is weight gain. So freshman to sophomore year, I gained quite a bit of weight, but it wasn't like weight that was noticeable in my abdominal. It was noticeable in my other areas. I say it's when I got my woman curves. So it was very weird in that transition, and I think all of us can relate that a transition where you go from, you know, being a child to then just having these certain things pop out, and it's like, okay, this is very awkward. And I remember that, you know, there was this thing called form spring. I don't know why I ever had that. It was either people went on there to go and hit on you, or people went on there to go and tell you really mean things. And I got one, and my middle name is obviously Belle, so Talia Belle. I got one after I went to the beach with my 2 best friends with our church group. Like, most innocent thing. It was us in the ocean in all shorts. And like, I've always have been a fuller legged woman. I have my grandmother's legs. They are full, thick Portuguese legs. So I've never had the thigh gap, and I think that was the era of the thigh gap. So I posted this picture, and someone commented on my form spring saying, Talia Belle, Taco Bell. And basically also said another rude comment about how I had cellulite cheese and that I shouldn't wear what certain things I was wearing that day. And I was like, I was in shorts and a shirt. Like, okay. And like I said, these words hurt way more than anything to me. So, you know, keep fast forwarding. I was in cheer. I did competitive cheer for 2 years with my high school. So losing weight was relatively fairly easy for me. I just would run, and it just shed right off. Graduated, and then I was also, you all know, was in a very serious relationship, and you know, they say love causes some weight gain. And then I also started college, so I was working 2 basically full-time jobs, and really just eating out whenever I could have anything to eat. I was so busy with school and work and maintaining a social life that I gained the freshman 15. But I think this is where I hit my lowest point, and I just didn't know what to do. And at the time, I had someone in my life who was able to kind of guide me towards the gym and really support me on it. And I, you know, used to believe that if God wanted me to pick up stuff on the floor, that he'd put diamonds on it. And now I'm like freaking out because I can't deadlift in quarantine, and like my calluses are all gone, and it's so sad. But I really had to make a change in my life. And I think also with the stress and the like emotion that I had with things going on in my life at the time, I needed an outlet. And I went to the gym and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with powerlifting style and as well bodybuilding style. I looked to a lot of different YouTubers, which is also kind of another reason why I wanted to start this channel as well, because I feel like sharing your message, even if it's not to 100,000 subscribers, it's good to get it out there, and it's good to be open about things that you've struggled with that I'm sure other people have struggled with. And excuse me. And I really struggled with this body image. And so this begins the story of when the day you enter the gym is the day you're not good enough, the day you're not strong enough, and the day you're not small enough. And I really still struggle with this. I've kind of done a lot of different diets to help me get to the place I am right now, and to be honest with you, I'm very comfortable with where I am at right now. Of course, I would like to be at a smaller size, but I also know that I work way too hard and way too much on my goals and work and everything like that to not enjoy life a little bit. And let's face it, I love beer and I love food, so I don't want to limit myself because I have this complex, and I'm trying to reframe what I see and look at the positive side of it. So I have done very extreme diets, done the low carb, high fat for a bit. Very good if you follow the restrictions. Like, you really can't just mess around with it because it kicks your body out of ketosis real quick. And I just felt that it was too restrictive for my lifestyle. It's very easy to lose weight on it, but it just was not something that I could maintain. Then I did summer shredding, and I did flexible dieting, so macro counting. And I thoroughly enjoyed that because I could still fit things in. If I wanted, you know, a Chick-fil-A ice cream cone, I could have got a Chick-fil-A ice cream cone. But I didn't want to be so restricted. So when I got off the summer shredding, that was the smallest I was ever at, and I loved the way I look. Like, I was so happy with what I looked like. But to get there and how restrictive I was, and basically just, I weighed everything. I had a portable scale that I weighed out fruit if there was fruit in our office. And I didn't want to be that person anymore. Like, I wasn't competing. I wasn't going for something else. I literally was just doing it because I wanted to lose weight and I wanted to be the best version of myself. So obviously I'm back, not fully back, but I am back, and to a weight that I think I'm okay with right now. And I know that I have a lot more muscle. So to me, I've never focused on a number on a scale, and I cannot stress this enough. Like, I hate scales. Scales are the worst thing that anybody could ever just pull out and do every single day. So for me, I don't look at that, and I don't stress myself on that. So I also wanted to kind of just dive into, there's always going to be certain items that we all are self-conscious about. Like, for me, it's my shoulders. and as well my lower abdominals. So I look very good from front on. Turn to the side, I don't look that great. And like, I really admire my friends for this, and I think they have this very great balance. And I don't know, maybe I'm just too self-critical, but I really admire my friends for embracing their bodies and embracing who they are. So like, my birthday is coming up, so I bought a bunch of different items, and I was like, guys, I don't think I can wear this, like if we're gonna be going out and like doing eating and drinking. And they're like, why? Like, embrace it. And to me that like was very like, oh, okay, crap. And I don't know, so like just certain things that people say to you. Like, I was seeing this guy for a little bit, and he was a great guy, but he told me, like, I brought him to the gym, and like, I don't work out with people that are not my friends. And like, going to the gym with someone that I'm seeing is a huge step for me. Like, it's basically like you're kind of in. And so I went to the gym with him, and I kind of like guided him on things. And not to say that he doesn't know anything, I'm not saying that at all, but he said a comment to me, and this is kind of why I wanted to just discuss this. And he was like, you know, we can do cardio after I was doing all this stuff. And I said, well, because I hate cardio. I hate cardio. Give me any weights, I will lift. I will lift whatever you want me to lift, but cardio, it's a cardio no. And I'm really trying to work on it now, specifically after this comment. And he goes, you know, you look great right now, but like, imagine how great you would look if you would do cardio. And like that, I was like, hold up, we are not on this level. Like I said, that's a constant battle. The day you enter the gym is the day you're not small enough, the day you aren't strong enough, and the day you aren't big enough. And I just wanted to discuss this and be very open and honest with everyone. But it's something that I struggle with, and I just have been trying to look at it in a different perspective and phrase it in not a unhealthy way, and really promote your confidence, your body in every form. And I only want people to promote health. Like I said, a scale doesn't matter, it's about how you feel. And I just want to stress this health concept. Health in a sense where you are comfortable with where you're at. And don't go by off of BMI, because all that studies doesn't even incorporate like Asian culture. So I don't know, I just want to promote people to be more expressive and happy and comfortable in their skin, and not second guess posting a picture because you might look a little bit weird, or that angle's not the best for you, or you know, things that people stress about. And I feel like in today's society, we all stress about that. And like I said, I really want to shout out to all my friends, because they really call me out on this when I do struggle with it. And I do have body dysmorphia images in my mind, and I think that has just stemmed with a lot of unhealthy cycles of losing, gaining, losing, gaining, losing, gaining, and which is why I've kind of stopped focusing on losing, and I'm focusing on maintaining. And with that maintenance, I'm maintaining my image happiness. And I just want to stress this to everyone. And I really hope that you guys can see how big of a deal this was to open up to you guys. And I'm like crossing myself because my body language is all weird, and I really wanted to make sure I related to anybody who is feeling like this, because every picture I take, every mirror I look at, I hear these things, and I just want to promote happiness and physical and mental wellness. And you know, guys, this is my big stress on everything I do on this channel, and I just hope you all can appreciate that I'm really gonna cry. Okay. I hope you guys can appreciate that this was very difficult for me to film. And I just want to let everyone know that you're not alone in this, and always promoting happiness and well-being. So thank you guys. Always again, let me get myself together. Always again, thank you guys for everything, and I hope you liked. Like, subscribe, share the positive messages to all your friends and family, and I'll see you again.